Insights with Terri Coots, a weekly look through the eyes of predictive astrologer Terri Coots. Here's Terri.
Hi everybody, this is Terri Coots. I am so pleased to have everybody join me. Charlie has done some really amazing things and got us on quite a few podcasts. That's Charlie O'Brien. If you're looking for anybody to help you with anything, he can help you with it, because he sure has knocked himself out for me. So we're on Spotify, we are on SoundCloud, we are on Amazon Podcasts, we are on YouTube, and he's got it on my website, www.terriworld.com. And he's archived quite a few of the sessions in case you've missed anything, because it kind of is an ongoing thing. So we're going to be talking about the week of April the 25th, right straight through to May the 1st, 2022. We've got a few things coming, so I'm anxious to share some of the information with you and hope it helps you reflect on your life and reflect in your life and work through some things that maybe don't have to be problems but can be challenges and make us better for where we are. So the sun sign has changed from Aries to the Bull completely now. And in Mercury, the planet of the mind, how we think, how we communicate, how we process, that's as well now in the Bull, and that was in Aries. Now we've only got that until the 30th of this month, and then it changes into Gemini. So you want to make sure that you use that energy as well as you can to your own advantage and maybe to the advantage of people around you, and we're going to explain that shortly. Venus, the planet of love and beauty, that's in Pisces, a very psychic energy sign, very, very compatible with doing your meditations, your intuitive work, connecting with your guides, all of that really important stuff to be making good decisions in your soul's purpose, best interest. And Mars, the planet of drive, passion, that's our planet that I will look at in people's charts to see what would they go to the wall for? And Mars always dictates that for us. That as well is in Pisces. Now, Pisces energy, as I said, it's compassionate, it's kind, it's sensitive, it's empathic. So when you can feel, really, really feel what other people are going through, what other people are experiencing, then we can, say, so to speak, walk in other people's shoes and really understand and be community with them, so that we can be part of their experience in a positive way. Maybe lift them up when they need to be lifted up, or sit with them quietly when they don't want words, they just want comfort. So with that energy, it helps us find that, because Venus is the planet of relationships, that being in Pisces, and then comparing that and being compatible in Mars, that's really going to help us really get into that intuitive self. Now that intuitive self, if you're feeling the need to explore supernatural, the occult, esoteric, any of the things that a normal culture looks at as non-traditional, this is the time for it. If you haven't connected with your guides, and I really doubt that anybody that listens to this podcast has not worked at connecting with their guides, their angels, the source. I just can't imagine it. This is the time to start to explore it and be lifted up because of it and for it. And if you're getting to another level, this is it. This is the time for it. It's really exciting. Now, the beginning of the week, that's Monday right through maybe the very, very first part of it. People with sensitivities, maybe in their feet area, this could give them a problem. So if your feet are sore, I have clients with cracked feet where they split, achy feet, arthritis in the feet, toes that are hammer toes, and anything that is vulnerable in the feet area can really explode on you. So just give those little members a good chance. Maybe rub them, soak them, put extra care into maintaining them. Just let them know that the whole body loves those little guys, because this is a vulnerable time, the beginning of the week, for that. And because all of that Pisces energy, which is ruled by Neptune, and Neptune is that planet of high volume creativity, but also fear. So if we go past creativity, we can scare ourselves. So watch you don't cross that line. That pineal gland that we have in our head will help us connect with that third eye and possibly see into the future or have more intuitive awakenings. So that's going to be a big part it will be playing the beginning of the week. And then that then moves right straight to the head. So if you're prone to, because the moon is going to be in the Ram, Aries, and if you're prone to say headaches or migraines, or you have sensitive teeth, anything with the teeth, the tongue, any of that area could give you pause to take a look at it. Now, because the dogs can't speak to me, this is the time that I pay more attention to those body parts. So given that, I teach my dogs to allow me positively look through their mouth, pay attention to their eyes, their ears. And I've noticed a lot of the clients this week, the dog's eyes seem to be a little swollen, or it has a little bit of gook in them. Looking at a couple of the dog's mouths, there were some cracked teeth, and I made a little essential oil that's good for canines, not just their teeth, that I could rub along their gums in case they had gingivitis or any infection starting with these split teeth. So they can't tell us, so I'm just really careful to pay attention to some of the body language that they give us. So watch your dogs for anything to do with the head this week. That might be eye infections, it may be a little bit of squinty eyes. Watch their teeth, pay attention to their breath, look and see if there's any eye infections, anything of that nature, and you'll be able to read their body language. And as well, look at yourself and hope. I know myself, I don't get headaches, and I felt little kind of, I wouldn't call it a pounder, a little bit of an ache throb, and paying attention to it, it goes away. So we're going to have that this week. And then towards the end of the week, we're going to have a new moon, and that new moon is in Taurus, and that's on Saturday. That's the 30th. As well, it's going to be a solar eclipse. So it being in Taurus, that's the neck. You think of the bull with the big neck. So what will be vulnerable will be vocal cords, your throat, that thyroid gland that's in the neck. That could be a vulnerable place. So if you have any of those body parts that are normally vulnerable, again, pay attention to that. This Taurus new moon and solar eclipse put together, and that's, as I said, that's on Saturday the 30th. This is opening the first eclipse for a portal for 2022. So that's our first one this year. I believe that eclipses are very powerful. They, it's like an opening. They can be very transformative if we allow for that. So you have to look at your own life, maybe as a human, and look at the big picture globally, maybe just as a person or a neighbor or a community. And this veil runs very thin during this time, and anybody that's sensitive can feel the energies of the world around us. It's a heightened sensitivity, especially with that Pisces in Venus and Pisces in Mars. So you may feel the agitation, the anxiety of what's going on in the other part of the world. You can feel maybe some of the fear of global warming and being vulnerable in that area. So that thin veil allows us to feel what other people are feeling, and maybe feeling things to come. So the energies behind the solar eclipse can spark opportunities for us that lead us down a brand new path. So if you can, try to stay open to what the universe brings your way. Trust that eclipses always land us where we need to be. Even if you're going through a difficult time, And of course, clients don't call me to say, "Oh, my life is so good and I can't stand it anymore. I need something to blow my life apart so I can learn a lesson." That's rare. I've done it myself and wished I didn't, asking my guides to show me something or to give me another lesson, and holy kaboom. Well, thank you. So this highly sensitive energy is important that you be gentle with yourself and keep your vibration lifted. We can't necessarily lift other people's vibration. We can try, but it's not as easy as it sounds. So I think sometimes when we're aware of what's around us, what we have to be grateful for, and maybe take part in healing rituals. There are so many cultures that have healing rituals. Maybe make one for yourself. Be creative. Use that Neptunian energy right now and make your own ritual that will guide you to gratitude and healing. So this eclipse is a very sensitive time. Now, speaking of that, I asked our guides what animal would be our totem for this month. This week. And what did they give me? Oh, the mouse. They gave me the mouse. Now, as a farmer, a mouse is not always my friend because it gets into the grain and it destroys things that farmers hold dear. But the mouse, when you observe them, they're fastidious in keeping themselves clean. They're always rubbing their little feet on their face, cleaning their face, and keeping themselves groomed. And, they've described a mousy color, meaning drab. So the mouse can be if you look at their nest, and I've seen a few of them, can be a very sloppy housekeeper. But they're very fastidious about their appearance. So that can reflect, for our totem, maybe there's areas in our lives that we're very fastidious about, and we pay attention to detail, highly concentrated, while in other areas we may neglect those areas. So this is a paradox, and maybe sometimes a source of confusion, because I've confused myself at times and say, why am I so amazing in this area and so lax in the other area? What's in it? And that can irritate us, sometimes about ourselves or maybe about another person. Especially if you're not that kind of person and you're living with a person that has mouse energy, where they're really picky in one area and let other areas go. So think about the predators that feed on mice. I know I trap them sometimes if they're in and rats as well, but we're dealing with mice. If they're in my grain shed, I don't care for them in the walls of the house. Don't care for them on the shelves where I see their little gifts that they offer, which is open packages or little mouse droppings. And to compensate for being such high value food, they usually have 3 or 4 litters a year, which is a lot of mice. So this energy, can make us look at things in our life, how time goes on. Maybe we won't be here forever. And what are we going to leave? And what do we bring to the table as just one person? I know that's been really on my mind personally this last little bit. I'm watching a movie right now, a series, 1883. And I don't know why, it has really made me think about, and I've thought this before, what will I leave behind? How will I make things better for me having been here? What footprint am I leaving? And maybe it's Earth Day that's making us think a little bit more like that. And I think Mouse is here to help us look at those things. So if we have this totem for this week, they're asking us to either pay attention to some of the details, or maybe look at our lives and say, can we not see the forest for the trees? Or am I getting locked in the details and I'm forgetting the big picture? I need to look and see where I'm strong and see where I'm weak. So I think Mouse wants us to ask ourselves some really important questions. Are we taking care of the trivial, but not looking at the necessary changes that we need in our life? Are we getting so lost in the big dreams that we're neglecting possibly other aspects of our life? Are we becoming so focused on one or two activities that we neglect or maybe don't see other opportunities? And are we missing what's right in front of us? Is there something obvious that we're missing that we need to focus on? And are we trying to do too many things at once and thereby scattering our energies to the point that we aren't doing anything? So most meta can show us to pay attention to detail. It can show us how to attain the big things by working on the little things. And whenever mouse shows up, there's always lessons that are associated with attention. So that's what our totem is this week, folks. And that's what our health things that we have to take a look at and pay attention to. And this is where the planets are going to get us. So we have a lot to think about. So happy solar eclipse in the new moon this coming Saturday on the 30th. I hope it's all used well for all of us. And I thank you for taking the time to listen to this little podcast. I really do appreciate that. It's with at the bottom of my heart. I'm so grateful. If you would like a reading for yourself individually, please don't hesitate to call or text 519-726-6699. You can email me at Terri, Terri.Coutts, Coutts @gmail.com. Or you can go to the website, www.terriworld.com, and you can just look at some of the past things and see how they integrate some of the past podcasts that our Charlie has offered to us, and see how they integrate with what we're working with right now. So again, Charlie has put us on Spotify, he's got us on Apple iTunes, he's got us on SoundCloud, and he's got us on Amazon podcasts, and now, YouTube. The link, I won't bother saying it. The link I can, if you want to email me, I can give you the link for the SoundCloud. When I put this on Facebook as well, I will send the link there as well. So you can subscribe now wherever you listen to your podcast. Thanks to Charlie O'Brien. You have yourself a wonderful week. Don't waste this time. There's so much in it for us, so many opportunities. Bye for now.
You've been listening to Insights with Terri Coutts. Join Terri every Monday on Facebook, 7 o'clock Eastern Time for live chats. And visit her website, terriworld.com, TERRI world.com. And thank you for listening.